Hi guys, I am back with City of Heavenly Fire. This is the final book in the Mortal Instruments series, and I am so excited to be here. I'm so excited to be at the final book. I feel as though I've been on this massive journey. This will be my ninth Shadowhunter book overall, and well, I loved the first three. Then I loved the Infernal Devices. I enjoyed City of Fallen Angels. And then I was really disappointed with City of Lost Souls. So I'm hoping that this one is going to be as amazing as the rest of them were, apart from the last one, just to solidify that this is an absolutely amazing series and one that I will love forever. That is my hope. That is my goal. Theories for this. No one's going to die. That's a big theory I have because I don't believe Cassandra Clare is capable of killing off characters that we love. So I think Simon and Isabel are pretty safe. I think Clary and Jace, safe. Alec, safe. And then in terms of others, Magnus, Maya and Jordan, I think will be safe. Jocelyn and Luke, I think will be safe. So I don't think anyone's going to die. I think Sebastian will die. I think we'll get to see more of Sebastian's upbringing here. And really, I don't really have much else to say because I don't know what's going on with Jace. Like, I'm assuming this is him. I don't even know if this is him. But I'm assuming this is him. This is either him or Sebastian. Anyway, I don't know what's going on, but obviously something's going to happen with that. Prediction as well, we are going to get a resolution to the Brother Zachariah and Gem storyline. Because in the end of the Infernal Devices, we found out that Gem got turned back to human somehow. And he attributed it to the Lightwood family and the Herondale family, and obviously those characters are in this book, and I would like to believe that we're going to get more information on that. So I think that could also happen. I also know that I don't even know now. I think it's the Dark Artificers follow on from the Mortal Instruments. So I think we'll also probably like an epilogue. We'll get characters from there maybe. Or is it Chain of Gold? I don't know. One of the future series, either the Dark Artificers or is Chain of Gold called the Last Hours series? One of them follow on from the Mortal Instruments, and whichever one does, I think we're gonna get some introduction to characters in here. That's the genuine belief. To be fair, there is also a possibility that if Gem gets turned back to human, we could get a Tessa cameo. That might be nice. But anyway, those are some theories I have. I am going to begin reading, and I can't wait to keep you updated. Literally page one, and it says Emma Castairs. Obviously, Gem Castairs was Gem from the Infernal Devices, and that family's continued. How exactly? Because Gem doesn't have any siblings that I know of. And Gem Carstairs was a silent brother. I don't know, but Emma Carstairs, that's interesting. That's not how I expected this to start. Oh. Okay. That was a very strong start. I loved meeting these characters. I loved meeting Emma. I loved meeting Julian, or Jules, whatever he's like to be called. But all of them, they were good characters. I liked that introduction. I'm going to go ahead and assume that they are in the Dark Artifices. I think I checked. I don't know when it's set, but I know that they appear in the Dark Artifices. So I'm assuming the Dark Artifices is the one that is set after the Mortal Instruments. I liked that introduction to those characters. I am loving that. I don't know what's coming next. I am on page 30, which is the end of the prologue, so it's chapter 1 next. And so far I'm happy. I know this sounds ridiculous, but I'm reading chapter chapter 1 of City of Heavenly Fire. And I'm just like, yes, this is what I wanted. This is what I wanted from book 5. And I didn't get it. And now I'm getting it from this. And I'm like, thank God that this book is not going to be the trash that book 5 turned out to be. And I'm really happy. And then I get hit with the feelings of, oh, well, not that many pages to go. And then this book series is done and you ain't seen these characters again. And I'm just like, oh, crap. So I'm a bit emotional. I'm extremely happy because I really, really wanted this book to be good. After the last one, which was, it was still good, but the characters were, no, it was definitely not good. I needed this one to be good. I needed it to end well. And I'm only one chapter in, or 2 chapters technically, with the prologue, and I'm emotional with it because I'm loving it. And I'm so glad that I'm loving it. I feel like if someone loves you, they should forgive you if you're really sorry. I'm sorry, Simon, love. Do you not remember that Alec literally tried to steal life from Magnus? He tried to take away his immortality. No amount of saying sorry is going to forgive that. Apart from the fact Magnus is obviously going to do it. But no one is going to forgive that. That is disgusting. You don't just get to say sorry and move on. Let Alec grovel. No, they've just mentioned that Maureen's in charge of the vampire clan since she killed Camille. Hang on. No. I refuse to accept that a little child muppety vampire girl has killed one of the strongest vampires I've seen in this series. One of the strongest vampires who has survived for hundreds of years getting killed by a little girl. I'm sorry, I don't believe it. I know she's a vampire, but so's Camille. It's not vampire against human, it's vampire against vampire. You don't root for the kid. So I've almost come to the conclusion that this book is pretty much Cassandra Clare's introduction to the Dark Artificers. Like I already said in my last vlog, if you have not watched that yet, go and check them out. Go and check all of them out because it's important you kind of do that because I spoil them all. But I said in my last vlog that I feel as though City of Lost Souls, you could tell she just didn't care about this series anymore. When it comes to City of Fallen Angels, I feel as though things definitely took a different turn. I wasn't loving it. I was like, this is weird. Like I'm enjoying it. I'm pleasantly happy with it, but I'm not getting the Shadowhunter Chronicles feel from it. And then City of Lost Souls, hated it. It was really upsetting. I feel as though the story was decent, but the characters were horrible. They weren't written well at all. And I kind of came to the conclusion then that this was pretty much a money grab from Cassandra Clare, or maybe she was told that she had to write 3 more, but she didn't want to. And I could kind of tell that she wasn't really enjoying what she was writing. And I feel as though this book, it's got Clary and Jason, all of these characters in it, but it's heavily featuring up to now. I mean, this could all change. I'm only on chapter 3, I think. Oh, I've just got to chapter 4, so I've read 4 chapters because of prologue, the first 3. But so far, I think every chapter, or at least the majority of them, have featured the Dark Artifices characters. And I feel as though she basically wrote City of Fallen Angels like, yeah, fine, I'll do this. Got to City of Lost Souls and thought I really couldn't care less. I don't care. I don't want to do this anymore. And then she got to this one. She thought, right, it's the last book. I'll put a bit of effort in, but I'm just going to focus a lot on these new characters because these are the ones you're going to have to fall in love with. And if you fall in love with them in this book, it makes it easier in the Dark Artificers. Maybe. So that's what I'm feeling. I mean, I don't mind. I'm still really enjoying this story, but I do feel as though the final 3 Mortal Instruments have been a big letdown up to now. But I'm interested to see what I think of the characters. I really like Emma and I really like Julian. Yeah, that's really all I have to say. I'm intrigued to see where this goes. So yeah, catch you in a bit. Wait, Jonathan's sleeping with the Sealy Queen? Well, that's disturbing. So we just got to the part where Jordan died. I was not prepared for that. I just kind of assumed with the Mortal Instruments that they'd all make it through. And now I feel crap. And it's not even the end of a chapter, so I can't even take a break. I have to admit, since book 1, Raphael has actually grown on me quite a bit. Like, I think if he died, I would actually be really sad. Didn't expect that in book 1. Wow. The complete and utter destruction of the Lightwood family is happening. And it's actually making me quite sad. Like, they've obviously been through quite a lot, and to see their family suffer now, it's sad. It really is sad. But it's bloody tense, this book, and I just don't know how to feel. My emotions are everywhere. Okay, so I just got to chapter 8, and it got busy. So much has happened, it's so weird. We've had all of the stuff on the battleground, and then this thing with Brother Zachariah and Jace. I'm going to assume this with Brother Zachariah is something to do with how Jem comes back to normal. But it's interesting because I don't understand this thing with Jace at all. I don't understand it. But it's okay because it's one of those where I just read it and then eventually I find out and it's like, cool, I understand it now. It's all good. But yeah, it is weird. But I've just got to the end of chapter 8. It's very dramatic, very tense. I'm just going to chill out. It's getting late, but I am going to try and read one more chapter before I go to bed. But I'm just going to take a bit of a break and chill right now. And then I'll go back to it. I will see you guys in a bit. So I'm just on page 180, and they've just said the London Institute got attacked, but they had a protection spell that let them know when someone was coming so they'd be safe. And it's a ghost, a spirit sworn to protect the place. She's been there for 130 years. And it's Jessamine. So Jessamine's still there and she's still protected them and she's just saved them. And Magnus has just said, I hope this means she's found peace. And I really hope she did, because I never really loved her character in the Infernal Devices. I never really wanted her to get a redemption because I didn't see how she could be redeemed, but the fact that she's still there as a ghost and she's just protected them is really cute. It's made me sad that she died now. I'm still not over Jordan. It really upsets me. He was too precious to die. And now to find out that Maya didn't even want to be with him, she wanted to break up with him, and I was just, no, he deserves so much better. Jem's back! This book is getting extremely emotional. We have all the feels from losing Jordan. We have to experience everyone coming to terms with that grief. We've got Simon dealing with it, Clary understanding it, Maya, we've got all these feelings. It's emotional, I'm sad about it. And then we have the news about Jem being back now and how he felt being a silent brother and the impact it had on him, and how Jace feels now he's brought him back and all the concern Jace had, and the fact that Jem just wants to go back to Tessa and he can't because he has to help. He has to help all the Shadow Hunters first before he can do that, and I'm just like, I love these characters, why are you doing this to me? It's making me in a bit of an emotional wreck. So I'm really loving the idea of this story wrapping up so much. Like, it wraps up the Mortal Instruments, clearly, But it also wraps up the Infernal Devices because we're getting more closure to how it ended with Jem and Tessa and Will. And I'm loving that we're getting that side of it. I also like that it's giving us a good introduction into the next one. It just seems like a perfect book, like in theory. Um, yeah, it really does. It seems perfect in the sense of it's wrapping up the books we've read before, as well as introducing us to the new generation of books almost. And I'm really excited about that, and I'm really loving that it's doing that. So I'm happy with this. Oh my god, Alec has just killed Million. That was dramatic. I didn't think that was going to happen. I am shooketh by this development. I just got to the end of part 1 of City of Heavenly Fire. That ended on a little bit of a cliffhanger. I have to say how much I love the Fae. I love them as characters. I love the idea of only doing something because it benefits you. Like, they don't get involved in anyone's drama. They just get involved when they feel as though they have to, and when it will benefit them to do so. I also love the fact that they can't lie, so they use loads of methods of trickery, because I'm like, yes, that is good. If I was going to be an immortal being of some sort, I would be a Fae, because they're quite smart. They keep themselves, and then when they have to get involved, they can be tricky, and I like it. They're just great characters, and I'm loving seeing more of them in this book. I've seen them more in the last 3, actually, but I've loved seeing them in this book. It's quite good. I'm enjoying it, and I'm happy, and I'm finally in the mood to read this. I have not been in a reading mood the last few days, so I'm really happy. I'm still at that point where I'm not desperate to read. Like, I could just as easily not read right now, but I'm okay with reading. So I'm just like, yes, let's do it while I can. And I'm feeling it. Yay! We just entered into like this weird alternate reality right now with this book, because they're at the Morganstone. No, it's the Fairchild Manor, isn't it? They're at the Fairchild Manor. Jonathan's there. There is another baby sister. Jocelyn and Luke are married after Valentine the hero died. What the hell is happening, man? But I think I get it, and I've wrapped my head around it quite well, because surprisingly, actually, I have started watching the Shadowhunter TV series, and I'm near the end of season 1. I think I'm on like episode 10 or something like that. But there is actually an episode that I'm currently watching, or I've just finished, I don't know. There is an episode that Clary goes into this weird alternate dimension where all of the characters are really different, and I'm kind of getting my head around it, because that's kind of perfectly matched up, so it made it easier, I think, to get my head around. But I'm liking this. I'm interested to see what happens with this alternate dimension. I'm interested to see why it's happening, and how we can fix this, and how it affects Clary as well. So if this book is like a fantasy of this is what I wish could happen, you know, this scene where they're all in this parallel thing, why is Simon dating Clary and not Isabel? Because I understand Clary's. Jonathan's her brother. She has another sibling. She's marrying Jace. Her mum and Luke are together. Like, that's kind of perfect. 'Cause I can see Clary does... Although she doesn't trust Jonathan in the slightest, I can see her vision being him being good and her wanting to have that relationship with him. But why is Simon's having a relationship with Clary and not Isabel? That's going to cause drama. You know, the thing that's actually making me more emotional when I'm doing this, when I'm reading the book, is seeing all of these fantasies. And Isabel's and Alec's fantasies always have Max still alive. And it's one of those things, you know, if there was a fantasy that'd be the case, Max would still be alive because he was their brother and they love him. But seeing that, and seeing how much they did genuinely love him and care for him, and how his death has affected them, it's really, really emotional. And that's really upset me. But I'm really loving seeing these fantasies because I feel as though I'm learning these characters more. I'm getting to know them so much more, and I'm getting to understand what they want. And whew, I just gotta chill. But that's emotional. Oh my god, I'm getting Jalek fanfic. What is happening in this chapter? So Jace didn't have a dream. That's a little concerning, don't you think? He's a weird character, Jace. He seems to be too problematic, you know? Like, it's like the author's literally just written him as the one that always has the problem. Like, he's never happy, and I'm just like, okay, but you're being a real downer now, lad. It's starting to really piss me off, but hey ho, it's the last book, so I won't have to deal with him for much longer. So we've just had mention, right, of those people that I don't remember the name of now, which is not good. Julian and Emma becoming parabatai, just so Emma can go with Julian, because apparently Julian has to go live in London, which is very sad. But he has to go to London because his family are pretty much dead, so he has to. And same with Emma, but Emma's not family, so the uncle that's going to take all of the... is it Blackthorn? Is that what they're called? The Blackthorn children? Won't take her as well. So Jules said, we'll become parabatai, and that way you'll have to. And I think the only thing I know from the next Dark Artifices is that it's the main two characters are parabatai, but they fall in love, and parabatai cannot fall in love and get married. That they can't do that. So are they going to become parabatai in this book, leading on to the drama in the Dark Artifices? I'm thinking so. We've also just had mention, I'm on page 383, Luke is talking to Magnus, and Magnus is just saying he's never loved a shadow hunter. He's loved everyone else, but not a shadow hunter, because he said, I've nearly loved them, been charmed by them, generations of them sometimes, Edmund and Will, and James and Lucy. The ones I saved and the ones I couldn't. I don't know, but I think James is not referring to Jem. I think James is referring to the future children, Will and Tessa's, from the Chain of Gold series, because I think there are two main characters in there called Will and Lucy. No, not Will and Lucy, James and Lucy. So Magnus is going to meet them in the Chain of Gold series, and they're mentioning them now, so well done for planning, Cassandra Clare. But also the some I saved, some I couldn't. Who couldn't he save? Is this because Will, as a Shadowhunter, grew old and died? Or does something happen in the Chain of Gold series? And he couldn't save people. Also, who's Edmund? Random tidbit. Who's Edmund? That's all I have to update you on. Bye. I'm still pissed, right, at the fact that Camille Belcourt is still dead. I'm still pissed by the fact that not only is she still dead, she was killed by a little itty bitty vampire bastard. Really? Killed by a tiny little new girl vampire? She's been around for hundreds of years. Do you really think she'd be taken out that easy? I've been on this rant before. It's not going to continue. I'm still mad about it, though. It's still annoying. But what was I going to say? Maureen's just died. I like that. I think she deserved it. I didn't like her that much to begin with. She was a little creepy. But I'm really enjoying this book. I'm reading it very slowly. I'm not in a reading mood per se. I want to read. I'm not really feeling the long chapters right now. So I'm reading it a bit slower than I want to. But I think I'm going to get a good chunk of it done today. Horror-a-thon has just started, and I've been joining in reading sprints using the Horror-a-thon sprints using this book. So I'm hoping I can get to... What page am I on? I'm on page 389. I'm hoping I can get to about 500 today. Because then I don't know if I'm going to read tomorrow because it's my birthday, but if I do some reading, I only have 140 pages to go, which I think is very doable because I could do that tomorrow, or a push even if I don't read tomorrow, I could do that Tuesday. So I'm liking that. We're getting a few scenes of angsty Jace coming back, and I'm just like, Jace, swear to God, come back angsty, I will kick you in your little Shadowhunter golden throat. Like, chill your bean, stop being angsty. If someone disagrees with you, deal with it. That is really frustrating. So we just got to the part with Isabel and the demon and the dying thing. I thought that was really good. I thought it was actually quite an excellent piece of writing, actually. But my issue is, I know Cassandra Clare wouldn't kill Isabel off. For starters, she is one of the most loved characters. And secondly, I just think Cassandra Clare has an inability to kill off characters we like. So no matter what, I think no matter how this story goes, Clary Jace, Simon, Isabel, Alec, they will never die, no matter what. So I also feel as though, yeah, it was great seeing Isabel put in danger and all of that part of the story, but there was also no consequence because I knew that she wasn't going to die. So I wasn't scared. I wasn't thinking, oh, come on, you can do it, you can survive. I was just like, I wonder how they're going to make this happen because, oh no, she's poisoned. Nothing's going to work. Nothing can stop the demon blood. Apart from this thing I've just found right now when it became convenient. And it's how it always works, and it really annoys me. It's not taken away from the story. I want to say that. Because I still think it was a good piece of writing. I still enjoyed it. But I also feel as though it took some enjoyment away because I wasn't sat there thinking, oh my god, I'm scared, what's going to happen, Izzy, please don't die. Like, I wasn't thinking any of that. All I was thinking all the way through is, I wonder how she's going to survive. You know. So that sucks. I shouldn't be feeling that way. She needs to be able to just kill off characters. She freaking killed off Jordan before and I broke my heart for freaking hours. Like, it was like a minute on screen, but trust me, I cried for hours. She needs to kill characters off. It was really annoying. We need more of character deaths. I need a series that will kill characters off. I really hope. I'm looking at my Shadowhunter books right now and I'm just like, okay, I have the Shadowhunter Codex. I have Lady Midnight, Lord of Shadows, Ghosts of the Shadow Market, and Chain of Gold. Is anyone going to die in any of those? That is all I need. Kill my characters, please. Which is quite a sad way to look at it. But it's what I need. I'm going to carry on reading, I think. I was going to stop because I wanted to get a bit... Well, I'm tired. It's past 11. I want to get in bed because I'm up at about 8 in the morning. But I'm actually feeling carrying on. I'll see. I shall see. Bye. Sebastian's just stabbed Raphael. I'm shooketh. We are getting some good character deaths in this book if this is him. If he dies now, Jordan then, now him, and I mean they're not the main characters, but at least there's some death in this. Oh, I'm really upset by this. Oh, and Maureen died, but no one likes her. I hope he's not dead, but I feel like he's definitely going to be, but I loved his character. Bugger. I know I've complained about Jace throughout this entire series, but I mean it when I say I want a Jace and Simon spin-off. I think a book with those two as the main characters and that's it would be so funny. I love them both as characters. I think they're amazing, and I think Cassandra Clare missed a trick by not giving us that book. We need that book. Petition for that book.
Okay then. Morning, by the way. Clary and Jace.
Jace did a set fire to himself angel thingamajig. And then they went back to the group and was like, oh, Clary helped me control it. And I just kind of glanced over it like, cool, fine, whatever. And now it's kind of like coming out that that's not the truth and they lied because no one knows how to lie to Sebastian apart from Clary and Jace. So now I'm like, well, what have they been doing? And I think that's the point. We're meant to ask that, and that's what I'm asking. But like, are they going to tell me soon? Because I need to know. I am definitely hoping to finish this today. There is not too much left. I aim to use all of the Horror-a-thon reading sprints for the day. And then I'm joining in a live sprint this evening. I'm going to be part of that, co-hosting that. So then I will be starting a new book. So hopefully I need to finish this by 7 or 8. No, I'm working from 4 actually, so maybe I'll finish this by 4. It's 10 o'clock now. It's doable.
Did Clary and Jace just... Oh, that's nasty.
Oh Lord, Mary, we're now getting to a battle scene. They're talking about the battle happening tomorrow. It's all very tense. They're starting to use words like, oh, we will fight with bravery, with courage, with hope. That's not a good sign. People gonna die. I'm not ready for this. I need to go and get ready. I'm gonna have a shave. I'm gonna get dressed. I'm gonna sit in my comfy chair and prepare for this final 120 pages. I'm scared, girl.
Okay. Not shaved yet, forgot to say. But I'll do that later, just before my meeting, so I look fresh. Anyway, shut up, Connor. I find it hilarious that they're actually using the old technique that you see in all of the movies of waiting till 5 people come along, jump them, attack them, knock them out, and then wear their outfits and blend in. That is the cheesiest load of crap I have ever seen, and it tickles me because of how pathetic it is. And I also find it pathetic that the perfect number of people, 5 people, have just so happened to turn up. What do you want to bet all of these people are the perfect sizes for our heroes? It's ridiculous. I've got to laugh at it, because if I don't laugh at it, it'll annoy me by how pathetic it is. It's funny. Oh, Lord. Luke, referring to Clary as his daughter all the time, melts my little heart. That is so precious. Also, I just want to point out, I have a sweet in my mouth, but I had to say it now or I'll forget. It's precious. There's a scene with Jonathan, and Clary stabbed him, and he almost became normal and untormented by evil, and I thought that was a beautiful scene. I'm glad it wasn't so much a redemption, because it was very nicely explained. It wasn't just a case of, oh, forgive me, because they've even all said, what you've done we can't forgive. But it was nice to see the potential of what he could have been had he not been ruined by Valentine. That was a very lovely scene. I like that scene. But I was very sad that Amethyst has now died and Luke had to watch. That was very sad.
Do not even talk to me right now. Simon was my favourite character, and y'all just gone and left him. You changed everything. I don't know how to feel about that, because Simon was my favourite. I loved him. I loved him so much. I needed more from him. And the idea of taking his memories away, taking everything, taking his memories of Clary, his entire friendship of Clary away, his relationship with Isabel, the fact he's a vampire, taking all that away from him and leaving him as a mundane with no memory of his friends. How how am I meant to be okay with that? And then at the same time, I see the flaming flip side of at least he's alive. At least he is getting to actually live with a normal life now. He gets his family back. His mum's hated him for the last two books. At least he gets her back. At least he can have a relationship with his sister. At least he can have a normal human life. And I don't know whether I'm meant to be happy or not. Because I'm glad for him, because that was a life he didn't choose to have. He has lost that life. But the idea of him not being with Isabel when he loves her so much breaks me. The idea of him not having Clary, who's been his best friend since they were born, breaks me. I don't know how to feel about that. I need a minute. Oh my god, there is a scene with Tessa and Jem. It's beautiful. I can't wait to finish this. I have 14 pages until the end. I'm over my breakdown. How did I not guess the Frey Grey connection? I'm so stupid. And it's only just hit me that Henry was ginger in the Infernal Devices. And that's why Clary's ginger. Because it's gone down the genes, and Henry was... Like, Henry wasn't a Fairchild, but he was married to a Fairchild. I am so stupid! I finished. I don't know how I feel now. I'm glad I'm done, if I'm honest. Because this was such a good ending. I broke down about the Simon thing. I will admit it. I broke my poor little heart because I found out that Simon was now a mundane with no memories. It made me realise him and Isabel would never be together. And that broke me a little bit. But it was fixed. And not fixed in a ridiculous, oh, Simon remembers everything way, but I love that he is now becoming a shadow hunter. Frankly, I think he's an idiot. He might die a little early, but I don't want to see him die in this, so it's all good. It's all good. I'm just glad he gets to be with Isabel. That's more than I could ask for. I broke my little heart, and now I feel fixed. I thought the whole Tessa and Jem meeting Clary thing was beautiful. Jace getting his Herondale ring. They've clearly done, Cassandra Clare's clearly done a lot of work in building up the world of the Chain of Gold series and the Dark Artifices series. Like, she's obviously done a lot of that because she's mentioned all of them characters, and I love that. But I'm officially done with the Mortal Instruments. And I don't know how I feel. I feel really happy. I'm so happy. This was as perfect an ending as I feel as though I could have asked for from the Mortal Instruments. The last book really let me down. I've had my issues with Clary and Jace. This was near perfect. It gave us the consequences. It broke my heart. It gave us a lot of people that we have lost. And it gave me so much hope and happiness. And I'm shooketh. I'm speechless. I'm going to go ahead and say it. And I feel as though a lot of people will disagree because I know a lot of people don't like them. This was a near perfect ending. This was probably as close to a perfect ending as I could have imagined for the Mortal Instruments. I know a lot of people think Clockwork Princess was the most perfect ending you could ever hope for the Infernal Devices. I agree. I feel as though this was the most perfect ending you could have hoped for the Mortal Instruments. And No one's really said that I'm aware of. Other people might have. I have not seen anyone say that they feel this way. But I feel that. I genuinely feel it was perfect. I like that we got to see more of the human side of Jonathan, but that it was also quite admitted that there was not enough human left in Jonathan because he was born a monster, and I love that. I I could I couldn't have asked for anything better. I couldn't. I laughed. I cried. I felt angry. I felt happy. This was perfect. And I don't know what to do with myself now that they're done. I finished the Mortal Instruments. And I finished the Infernal Devices. Where do I go from here? I don't know. Oof, that was an emotional roller coaster. It is one I will always remember. I am so happy. Yeah. Wow. It feels like the end of an era. So I started these back in, March? And now they're finally done. Wow. But never fear, because I'm moving on to this next. I'm going to be reading the Bane Chronicles. I am so excited to be reading the Bane Chronicles. I love a bit of Bane. And I'm going to be reading all of the short story collections that we have before I move on to the Dark Artificers. So I'll be reading this one. And then the Shadowhunter Codex, I think, is after this. And then after this, I have Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy. Yes. And then I'll be moving on to the Dark Artificers. Then I will read Ghosts of the Shadow Market. Then I will read the Red Scrolls of Magic. And if I can, the Lost Book of White, if I have a copy of that by then Chain of Gold. That's how it's going to go. But this one is next. So, my lovely people, I will see you when I read the Bane Chronicles. See you later. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I love that you've came on this journey with me. Thank you. Okay, what am I going to say? In honour of Simon, this is what I want to say. In honour of Simon, if you've made it to the end of this vlog, leave a vampire little emoji. Is there a vampire emoji? I'm going to guess there's a vampire emoji. In honour of Simon, leave me a vampire emoji down below. If you have read these books, tell me what you thought of that ending, because I would love to hear other people's thoughts. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I am so happy with how this ended. I will see you next time. Bye!
SafeMusicList.com. Royalty-free music for marketing and promotional videos.